What's up, y'all? Kalen here, aka Knock the Prophet. We're back for another small talk. It's the first one of this year. Haven't done one of these videos in actually probably been about a year. I used to do them during last year is when I started doing them, and it was really just because of the pandemic. I was having a tough time keeping connection with my audience, and I had a lot of extended time when I was shooting to make videos and talk about what was happening in my life. 2020, if y'all remember, it feels like it was forever ago, but like, at least for me, it was like something was happening every week, and there was always something new. Something was changing. There was some bit of news that had just come out, and so there was always something to talk about. And I spent a lot of time last year talking about race and racial issues, just my grappling with a lot of things that I had not had to deal with before. And so I did that up until the end of last year, and then I started working heavily on Intermission, the EP that dropped in December. And in 2021, we're here now, and it's just been a lot of it's just been different, man. It's a different vibe this year, and I just want to spend some time today talking about what's been going on, because, again, I haven't really put out a lot of content, both in the way of music or video and promotional stuff. And so, first off the bat, if y'all have been keeping up with the channel or my page on Instagram, I had been doing these things called Days in the Life, which were basically like 1 to 2 minute videos where I would just talk about the week. And I was doing them weekly for like maybe 4 or 5 weeks. And then life just got crazy, man. And so I'm going to spend a little bit of time. I guess I'll pick up from there, because that's the last thing y'all probably would have remembered from me sharing. But basically, I think the last one I did was right around April 20th. And from April 23rd to the 25th, we had an event at my internship in Nashville, which was like a conference. It was a nationwide conference that was held in Nashville, and we had people from all over the country coming to it. It was cool, man. I've done an event like that. I did one last year that I think I talked about, maybe I didn't. But I had an event like that last year that I helped out with and had a similar role at it. But this time in April, it was my first time kind of taking more initiative and having a lot more authority, I guess, in the role that I played. And so basically I was backstage, and again, it was a conference, and so we had speakers and guests that would come and share different things and different topics. And my role at the event was basically to be backstage, and when the speakers would finish their session, like in front of the audience, I would have them come through the back and into like the studio room that I was in, where I'd set up like a backdrop like this, lights, camera, and I would film and host interviews where I would just pose. I had like 5 questions that I would pose to each of these speakers, and I did that for the entirety of the event. So I didn't even really get to hear a lot of their actual talks because I was back there interviewing the whole time. But yeah, so I did that. That was cool. I finished up that shooting that weekend. And then from there, Ben, it was just really for all of May, I was working with that content, so I had to edit all of that, which it was like, I think it ended up being almost like maybe almost 20 videos or 20 interviews. So having to edit, color correct, just formatting all of the content, organizing it into different folders, getting like all the first step was to get all the footage. Like, okay, I got footage here, I got audio on this, I need to get this audio from this SD card into this file on my hard drive, got to get this footage from this hard drive backed up. Like, it's just all this like crazy stuff. And then, finally getting around to the point of like, okay, now I'm going to build out the Premiere project. Like, here's the footage for this person, make a sequence with that person's name on it, footage, synchronize the audio to the, that was my life, bro, for like probably a month, I think. It was like that. And then on top of that, we had these expert Q&As where like we were basically like a live chat interview with people just posing questions spontaneously, and the speakers would just give their answer. But they happened not just at the location we were at, but also like other people in other parts of the country were having those same live chats. And so I had to get the footage from them. And then some of them, their audio was terrible. Like, they had AirPods that were dying, and so like the audio quality was really bad. So I had to like sweeten that up, put a high pass on it. To people who don't understand these terms, like, it's just like mumbo jumbo. But this was like serious work, man. So that's what I did in early May, and then late May was when I actually got around to finishing the interviews, and I actually uploaded those maybe the first week of June. And so from that point to today, I've just been working on kind of the more daily, weekly things that we have to do with my internship. So like editing podcasts, shooting promotional content. We do these things called Weeklies, where we take snippets of the different talks we've had. Because basically what we have are like almost like TED Talks. And we take bits and pieces of them and we assemble them together and send email blasts out to people. And each email has like 5 or 6 of these videos, small bits, like 1 to 2 minute video clips of these talks. And usually there's an overarching theme. So like one might be politics, another might be COVID awareness, or the whole thing about gender and equality and race and justice. Like it just depends on the week and kind of what's going on in the cultural moment. But that's kind of what I've been doing as far as like work stuff. And so there's been that, obviously, and I might share some footage from that stuff too, at least me like in the process of shooting it. But I did that. I had some other freelance gigs on the side. So like I shot at my school recently. They opened up a new athletic facility, and I was told about it and was invited to help work on that, and that was cool. What was crazy about that gig was I didn't realize I was going to be the only videographer there. There was another guy there who was actually with the university. He was like on staff as like a content creator at Belmont. But I was there on behalf of the people that helped design the facility. And so I filmed the president of the university giving like a little speech or whatever about it, and then the tape cutting and the unveiling of the name, and then all the donors getting to go inside and see it and all the different parts of the facility. So I filmed all that, filmed the mascot, the cheerleaders, like all that stuff, and edited all that and sent it to the client. That was like a couple weeks ago, and then just kind of different things like that since all that's happened. But what you obviously aren't hearing is that there's any kind of music in the pipeline. There is. I'm not, I will say it's been a challenge, man, just trying to like make time for that. Because on top of all the work I've been doing, which is great, it's a blessing. I love it. This is what I went to school to do, so I'm obviously grateful for it. But on top of all the video stuff, I'm also dating a girl, and we've been dating officially since April. And so, between work and then the relationship, and then on top of that, I'm still doing like recovery, which I talked about in the small talks last year. I'm still involved in recovery, 12-step recovery. And so just have a lot of different top spinning, bro. And it's all good. It's just, at times it's like a little overwhelming. And I had a moment this past weekend where I was finally able to sit back in my little studio area that when you've seen me working on music, like I shared bits and pieces of the production process or the songwriting process, like that's my space, that's my sacred place to like work on stuff. I sat down there on Saturday and just realized, I haven't been here, like actually been present here in a long time. And it really felt good, but it felt sad because I was like, man, this used to be my place. This used to be my element. And I haven't been, taking advantage of it and utilizing the space and really like having fun working on stuff like I used to. And it made me kind of sad. So I'm in a moment now where I'm just thinking a lot about the fall and this next season coming up, because this internship I talked about today and I've talked about before, it's a 12-month internship and it wraps up in August, I think. July or August, so it's like right around the door. It's right around the corner. And I don't have a lot of not certainty, but like I don't have a lot of clarity around what's gonna happen when it wraps up. So I don't know if like I'm gonna get hired or I'm gonna like stick around and do freelance stuff. I really don't know. And so just kind of been thinking this week. I've approached some of my people on the team and tried to see if there's a chance we can meet and talk about it, because I need to know as I'm planning and thinking through things, future stuff. And yeah, man, so like just thinking about that and really trying to consider the question of like, what do I really want to do? Because I feel like there's a lot of, everybody has an opinion or thought about like, oh, you should do this. You're really good at this. Why don't you do this more? Have you considered trying to do this or start this up? And it's like, all that stuff is great, and I appreciate people like talking me up and giving me encouragement. But I think it hit me when I was on the phone with my girlfriend the other day, where I was just like, she asked me, she was like I told her everything that's on my plate and all the things I'm considering. Because on top of the this internship or whatever, I'm also working part-time in Nashville where I teach students. I think I talked about that too, where I teach students in like the juvenile center. I teach students in schools, Metro Nashville schools. I just teach them how to make music and write and produce and just develop ideas. And that position, there's like a serious opening for a lot more. Like I could really like make that my main thing. But the only difficulty with that is the fact that it's very contingent upon the school schedule. So like, for instance, when it's summertime, like right now, there's basically no work. And so that would be problematic in the future. But, I've in the past, I've found things to like make it work. So I'm not concerned too much, but it's just something to think about. But anyway, I basically gave my girlfriend the whole spiel about everything that's on my plate right now and all the things I'm considering and thinking about. And she just posed the question to me of like, what do you want to do? And I couldn't come up with an answer. I didn't know what to say. And I was like, that stuck with me. I was like, man, why am I so out of touch with what I want? And like, why do I feel like I have to like cater to what people want for me? Or like my opinion or thoughts or feelings about where I'm at is secondary to what people think I should be doing or where I should be. And so I haven't delved too much into that, but I really feel like I need to because, yeah, man, just like, again, I was in the studio on Saturday and I was looking over old projects, not even old, projects from like the spring that I haven't like developed or worked through yet. And I was like, man, like what's happening? Like I used to be consistently every week working on something, even if it was like 15 minutes of the week. Like I was doing something constructively with my music and producing and working on some idea. And, I don't think I've had a season like this in the longest time where I've just not been doing it. And it's been like that, dude. I just haven't, again, because of all the stuff I'm doing, like, if I'm not working, I'm with my girl. If I'm not with my girl, I'm at church, helping out somehow, or helping the family, picking somebody up, dropping somebody off, getting groceries. So it's just, it's just a lot. And yeah, gratefully, I can say one thing positive about this season is that my walk with God's been pretty good. I've been working through the Bible. I started like reading the Bible from the beginning last year in June-ish. I think it was June. Just cause it was quarantine, and I was like, I opened it up one day and I was like, yo, where should I go? Cause I usually just like randomize it. Like I would just be like, all right, I feel like maybe John today, or I feel like Romans, or I feel like, I don't know, Genesis. I feel like Psalms. I feel like Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. I feel like 1 John, 1 Peter. I don't know. But I opened it up one day last year and was like, let me just start from the beginning and just see how far I get. And so I did, and I worked my way up to the present day. Now I'm in Proverbs 20, which is a little past halfway, but I've definitely kind of slowed up in my moving through it. So just trying to get more consistent with that. But I've been pretty consistent, and it's really cool that like the timing of getting to Proverbs, because like I started Proverbs when I started dating, and so Proverbs is all about wisdom, and it's about purity, sexual purity, and being wise, and how you spend your money, how you save your money, how you treat people. And like all these things are factors that come into play when you're dating somebody or when you're in a relationship. And so it's really been a godsend of like, oh, this is where I messed up. And like I would literally we'd have like a disagreement or some kind of tense moment. No, we legit had like, I don't want to say we had fights, but I've raised my voice and regretted it many times. But we'll have a moment like that, and I'll go to the scripture, and I'll be like, dang, I did this, I didn't do this, I didn't do this. Like, dang it, bro. But like I said before, it's a godsend. It's a great thing. It's a privilege to be in the text. Actually, today, we're filming these devotionals that are going through different books of the Bible, and today is the Proverbs. Our second set, really. We've already gone through like the first maybe 10 or 8, and I think today is like the second set, second round. So it's ironic that I'm talking about reading the Proverbs myself, and then we're actually doing that today as a church. But yeah, anyway, what I was saying, yeah, it's just crazy that the timing of when I reached that book and where I'm at currently in life, where I'm just really trying to glean wisdom and trying to, because if there's anything I've learned, with respect to work, with respect especially to the relationship, it's like people tell you so many different things and you're like giving all this wisdom and advice, but no relationship is the same, and no person is the same. And so people bring their own dynamics and their own experiences and stories into a relationship, which then becomes the amalgamation of these two completely different people who have their own unique qualities and personalities and stories and experiences, struggles, whatever. And like there's no like one size fits all idea, concept, advice, whatever, philosophy that works for every single relationship, every single thing. And so I've basically just had to you learn by messing up, bro. You learn by oh, that didn't work that time. I'm not going to do it again. Oh, I said this way. That doesn't work. That really hurt her feelings. When we talk about this brings up this in her, and I need to be aware of that. I got to be more sensitive with that. When she feels this way, I need to give her some space and not feel obligated to just patch everything up super quick and get her feeling better. Sometimes it's just a lot of stuff I didn't know and didn't understand, and you only really learn by walking through it. You can read on the internet, you can talk to all the people in your life, and that's all good and well, but at the end of the day, it's when you actually walk through it and mess up, fail, but keep coming back and trying again that you really start growing and getting better at it. And so it's been good, man. It's been tricky and hard, but it's good, and I'm learning a lot. And that's kind of why, just to kind of segue it back to the music stuff, I feel like there's a lot that this season has brought up in my experience in life and emotionally, and the best way I have to process all that stuff is to work through music and express it through songs, and I haven't done that. So there's plenty of content on the inside that I can start bringing out, but I haven't taken it upon myself to really go there yet. But it's coming, man. I promise it's coming. Hopefully this video will be the catalyst for it. But yeah, man, I think that's kind of it. What else? I'm trying to think. That's kind of it, bro. I feel like that's kind of what I feel like I've covered most of the concrete stuff. There's not much to share, but that's kind of been where I'm at, or where I've been these past couple months. And I apologize for not keeping you on the loop, man. It's been a lot going on. If you can't hear it in this video, just know there's a lot going on. I'll mention this too. I didn't talk about this, but 2 weeks ago, I was out of town at summer camp near Chattanooga. We had a summer camp. There was a middle school camp and a high school camp, and I was at both of them. And so I was out basically the whole week and helped out with that, which was fun. It was really fun, but definitely sapped a lot of my energy. And, if I wasn't already exhausted and tired and drained, that definitely kind of did me in. Then I got home and I got home and me and my girlfriend got into we got into it, and I had just gotten back and everything was great, and then we talked one night, didn't go well, and then the next day I said some really messed up stuff, really insensitive stuff, and made things worse, but we patched it up that night, fortunately. But yeah, so anyway, that's life, bro. It's up and down and around, and it's good though. God still got me, and he's this is where he wants me, so I'm happy and grateful for it. I've always had a fear and a lot of uncertainty and anxiety around the unknown, things I've never experienced or never done, never had to walk through, and that's really all this year has been. And it's just I think I'm realizing just how necessary that is, and it's never comfortable really, but it's always good, and you're always, if nothing else, you're always depending on God to give you what you can't find in yourself. So the strength, the faith, the confidence, the endurance, all that stuff comes from above. So I've been leaning on him like never before, which is a blessing. But again, it's not always comfortable. In fact, most of the time it isn't, but that's just how it is walking with Jesus. So, yeah, I feel like somebody's supposed to show up soon, but I'm going to keep riffing until they do, I guess. Yeah, so hopefully, again, I hope this isn't like an isolated thing. I want to keep doing this kind of stuff because I think it's always beneficial, and I like the more unscripted. I didn't have anything planned to say. I just kind of, again, been riffing, and I like that. So I don't know. We'll see if time allows, if I can prioritize these kind of discussions, but definitely been missing you guys. I feel like, COVID screwed up everything with regard to social engagement, and now it's getting back to normal, but everybody's everywhere because it's summertime. And so I feel like I haven't seen a lot of people still, but we'll get there. And I'm I don't post a lot on social media, but I'm seeing what y'all are putting out. So definitely reach out if you ever get a moment to think about it, and hopefully we'll link up. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Peace.